Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Daria, and today's practice is called Backbending with Ease. So this class is a relatively short practice that you can repeat to build strength in your back body to allow back bends to feel really expansive, open, and free, rather than crunchy or sticky or tight or even sometimes painful. So for this practice, if you have a yoga block, go ahead and grab one. If you don't have a block, that's okay. You can use anything that you might have that's a similar shape and size, or you can just imagine that you have a yoga block and we'll create a similar activation. So whenever you're ready, let's go ahead and get into it. We'll start right away from tabletop. So find your way up to hands and knees. Align your wrists beneath your shoulders and your knees under your hips. Spread into the four corners of your palms, broaden your finger pads, and then press them down, drag them back toward the center of your palms. We'll begin with some scapular push-ups. So take an inhale through your nose, soften from the back of your heart all the way down toward the earth. So the shoulder blades here are drawing together, and you're kind of allowing the weight to melt into your shoulder girdle. From here, press straight down into your palms, take a breath out through your nose, and puff the back of your heart up toward the sky, drawing the shoulder blades now away from one another. On your next inhalation, soften. It's like your heart is melting all the way down toward the core of the earth. Shoulder blades squeeze together. Breathing out, press down and press your shoulder blades away from one another, creating space in the upper back. Now move with your breath a few times through these movements. Inhaling to soften the heart, exhaling to press the ground away from you. Really try to isolate the movement just to the shoulder blades and the space of the upper back. And eventually start moving relatively quickly through this, but still feel the articulation through the shoulder blades, hugging and then pressing apart. Now start to just neutralize through your spine. Place your right palm under your face, left hand to the back of your head, elbow wide. As you inhale, turn your chest toward the left, opening the heart. As you exhale, drive left elbow toward right wrist. You can bend the right arm a little. Again, like that. Inhale, turning open, look to the left, and exhale, elbow to wrist. One more time. Breathing in, open up through your heart. And breathing out, elbow to wrist. Back to hands and knees to the second side. So left palm roots, right hand behind your head. Inhale, turn your chest to the right. As you exhale, drive your elbow down towards your left wrist. Try if you can to keep your hips square and let the revolution come from the ribs. Inhale to open. Exhale, right elbow, left wrist. Last one, breathing in, open the heart. Breathing out, twist it down, and then come back up through center. From here, bring your toes to touch, bring your knees to touch. Sit your hips all the way back to your heels, coming into child's pose. Crawl your fingertips forward, and then you can relax the forehead down to the mat if that's available. Let this be more of an active child's pose, so ignite your arms, crawl your fingertips maybe 1 inch more forward, plug them down, and then lift the palms of your hands. So we'll feel the stretch into your lats now as well. Drive your shoulders away from your ears, create space around your neck. And then send your breath intentionally up and down your spine, feeling it rise like a wave from the tailbone through the low back, middle back, upper back, back of the neck, back of the head, all the way forward. And then with your exhales, let it ripple back down that same channel in reverse. Press into your palms. On your next inhalation, take your knees hips distance apart, round your spine, come forward through your hands and your knees, and then melt all the way down to lying on your belly. From here, we'll bring the block between your upper inner thighs. So place the block there and then grip it really tightly between your legs. At the same time, press your toenails into the earth, all 10 of them. Palms are beside your ribs. Before you even lift up into your cobra, drive your shoulders down your back, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Press your pelvis down, squeeze the block. Breathe in, lift your heart, and lift your hands. Now imagine somebody's hands are pressing onto your feet so they're firmly rooted. Grow your heart forward, then curl it a little more up to the sky. Holding here just for a couple more breaths. Feel your whole back body igniting, lighting up. Try to keep your neck aligned with the rest of your spine. Inhale. Exhale, release. Lower down. You can let your thighs relax just for a moment. Rest your chin down. Inhale. And exhale. Going again right away. Squeeze your inner thighs. Press your toenails down. Press your pubic bone down. Pull up through your pelvic floor. Lengthen the lines of your waist. Then float your heart and float your hands. If there's crunching in your low back, see if you can allow your intention to be creating length, then lift. So always prioritizing the elongation of the spine first. Really grip the block with your inner thighs. Take one more breath in. Breathe out and let that go. Relax, chin down. Just rest here for one breath. In through the nose and out. We'll go up one more time like this. This time we're going to take little pulses into it. So toenails plug down, block squeezing between the thighs, press down through your pelvis and your hips. Inhale, float your heart, float your hands, and pulse in and out of it. So little baby lifts and lowers. Use your breath. Keep squeezing your pelvic floor. Really focus on that activation. It's like your pubic bone is reaching towards your sternum. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, lower down. Rest the right side of your face to the mat. You can release the gripping of your inner thighs and bring the tops of your hands down beside you. Take a belly down Shavasana just for a couple breaths. Turn your chin forward. Now bring your palms down beside you. Again, chin to the floor and grip the block between your inner thighs. Now we're gonna isolate the legs, seeing if we can lift the tops of the feet and maybe the tops of the thighs up and away from the ground. So take a breath in and a breath out. Next inhalation, press into your palms and your fingers. Float the feet, float the thighs. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your hamstrings, spread your toes, and then see if you can just lift 1 inch higher while elongating back, and breathe out to lower down. Inhale, exhale. Now again, inhale, float the feet, float the thighs. Keep your torso heavy, keep pressing into your palms. Stretch back through your toes, spread them wide. One more inhale, squeeze your glutes, and exhale, lower down. Breathe in, breathe out, let it go. Last time, inhale, squeeze and lift. This time we pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, good. 6, really squeeze. 4, 3, feel the fire. 2, 1, and release it all down. Now left cheek to the mat, belly down Shavasana, tops of the hands to the mat, palms to the sky, just resting. Chin back to the top of the mat. We're gonna go again for a third round, incorporating all of this together. So palms beside the ribs, toenails first start rooted. Press your pelvis down, firm your thighs. Breathe in, lift your heart, lift your hands. Breathe out, lift your feet, lift your legs, squeeze the block. Now here, hug everything to the midline, inner thighs and elbows. Shoulder blades hug the back of your heart. See how much you can lift and lengthen. Breathe in. Breathe out, release. One breath resting on your belly. Again, right into it. Inhale, lift your heart, lift your hands. Exhale, lift your feet, lift your thighs. Inhale, everything lifts, grow long in every direction. Heart pulls forward, toes pull back. Exhale, let it go. One breath in. And one breath out. Last time. Inhale, lift your heart, lift your hands. Exhale, squeeze your block, lift your legs and lift your feet. Last inhale, really, really lift. Good, breathing out, lower everything down. Place your palms by your ribs if they're not already there. And press yourself up onto hands and knees, coming into tabletop. You can release the block off to the top of your mat. We'll take some cat-cows to neutralize the spine. On your inhalation, arch your back, lift your tailbone, pull your palms back to your thighs, activating the back body, stretch your heart forward, eyes up, opening your abs and your core. Exhale, press down, get hollow, rounding the spine. Suction your belly button in and up, and then curl your chin to your chest. Spread the breath through the back body. This should feel really good after all that activation. Again, inhale, opening up into a cow pose. Broaden your collarbones, eyes up. Breathe out, press down, round in through your core. Puff the back of your heart to the sky. Now just taking a few at your own pace and maybe adding rib cage circles or hip circles. And then neutralize back into a tabletop. Curl your toes under. We're gonna lift the hips up and back into downward facing dog. Settle into hands and feet, anchoring there, rooting there, and then growing your spine up and back through the very, very tip of your tailbone. Root your left toes, and on your next inhalation, stretch your right leg up to the sky, three-legged down dog, squaring the hips so all 5 of your right toenails are pointing down. Now we're gonna pulse here for 10 reps. Squeeze your right glute and pulse, lift and squeeze. 9, 8, if it helps you to feel, you can flex your foot. 6, 5, dig down into all 10 fingers. Last 3, squeeze in through your core. 2, 1, squeeze, 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 and then step your right foot down. On your inhalation, left leg rises high, three-legged down dog. 10 pulses, keeping the hips square. Flex your foot if it helps. 10, 9, 8, make sure that you're breathing. 7, 6, good. 5, last 4, 3, 2, 1, hold and squeeze, and release down. Both feet to the floor. Walk your hands to the back of your mat and take a ragdoll. Just drape everything down heavy. Feet are hips distance apart. Let your neck relax. You can shake your head no. Nod your head yes. Now interlace your hands at the back of your head and gently pull down on it, using your thumbs to massage the space where head and neck connect. Let your core and your low belly soften so that this can encourage more drop and softening into your lower back. Now, walk your palms back out into downward facing dog. Take an inhale and an exhale. Breathe in, lift your heels, round forward into a high plank. We'll play with scapular push-ups again, this time from a plank. So on your next inhalation, soften so that you're melting into your shoulder girdle, shoulder blades hug, and then breathe out, press the ground away from you, and spread your shoulder blades. Inhale to soften down, claw through your fingertips. Exhale, really firmly press, squeeze your core, spread your shoulder blades. Inhale. Exhale. Just 2 more times. Breathing in. Breathing out. Last one, inhale, soften. Exhale, press, press, press the ground away from you, holding in a rounded plank for 3, for 2, for 1, and now land both knees to the mat. We'll find the block again, coming up to standing on the knees to play with Camel. So the block will slide between your inner thighs. If you don't have a block, just imagine that you do. Imagine you're gripping something tightly in between your thighs. That's about the distance that the block would be. We'll start with the toes tucked. Really firmly press your toes down. Imagine you're pressing your shins down even though they're not connected to the earth. Squeeze the block and lift your pelvic floor. Really try to feel that activation. It's a subtle one, so if it helps, you can close your eyes and try to find that idea of the pubic bone lifting like it's riding an elevator up to your sternum. Now, let's take the hands to the sacrum. Fingertips can point up or down, whatever you prefer. Press your pelvis just a little bit forward with your palms, but then at the same time, drive your hips slightly back into your hands so it's an equal and opposite action. Squeeze your block, lift your low belly, and then just see how tall you can grow your heart and your spine. Drop the tailbone a little bit down and drop your sit bones toward the backs of your knees. Elongate the front body. Let this be your intention here. Just breathing a few breaths, inflating your heart. Good. Come up and out of it and just have a seat back to your heels. You can release the block and we'll just pause here, feeling for a couple rounds of breath. Get comfortable in the stillness. Sometimes stillness is uncomfortable if we're not used to it. So see what you can do to just feel cozy right here. Going again. Come up to standing on your shins. The toes can be tucked again, and we'll bring the block between the inner thighs. So this time we're gonna play with leaning back a little bit further. As you inhale, press into your feet, press your inner thighs together, hips a little bit forward. This time breathe in and reach your arms to the sky. Breathe out, circle the hands to the base of the spine, fingertips pointing skyward or downward. Now, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Puff the breath to the back of your heart. To the front of your heart. Shoulder blades are drawing together to support at the back of the heart. Now, you can start to tip backward any amount, maybe just really subtle. Imagine your heart like a light and you just want to shine it to the sky first. If there gets to be any crunchiness in the spine or in the low back, come out. Find the intention of length once again, bolstering the heart with your spine, and then start leaning back more. If you like, you can bring your hands to your heels and maybe let your head drop back, opening into your throat. Keep gripping the block. Keep energizing your glutes in a downward direction. Try to lift your hip bones like they're lifting towards your ribs. When you're ready, come out, bring your hands back to your sacrum, lowering down out of this just the way that you came in. So your head comes up last. You can release the block. Have a seat back to your heels. Close your eyes, just feeling. We'll go one more time, just like that. Last round of Camel. Block between your inner thighs. If you'd like to play with the toes untucked this time, that's great. Press your toenails down. This gives you a little more space to lean back further. As you inhale, stretch your fingertips up to the sky. As you exhale, palms come down to the base of your spine. Now imagine as you start to lean back that the shoulder blades are a shelf supporting the back of your heart. So it's like you're leaning back into something solid. That's how much you're activating your back body. Continue to grip the block. Keep lifting your pelvic floor. Keep lifting through the lines of your hips, the front lines of your hips. Maybe hands to heels, maybe leaning the head back. And let this feel expansive, open, loving, and free through both the front and back lines of your body. Lengthening first always, and then deepening into the bend, the curling. Breathe in. Breathe out. Make your way out. Slowly, mindfully coming back up. Let the block come out from your legs. Have a seat back onto your heels, palms face the sky, and just close your eyes. Notice what you feel. Sometimes back bends can bring about some kind of dizzy sensations or maybe even nausea. Other times back bends might feel expansive, energizing. So just try to see what you feel without judging it, without labeling it as good or bad, or without becoming attached to it. Deep inhale through your nose. Take a sigh out of your mouth, let it go. Now, come to a seat, blink your eyes open, and we'll roll to lying on our backs, bringing the block with you. So just hold on to the block between your palms. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, rounding in through the core, using the core to roll down for 3, for 2, and 1. Let the back of your heart spread into the earth and the back of your head. We'll take a supported bridge. Feet come beneath your knees. Plant the feet flat, then bridge your hips up to the sky just slightly. Slide the block beneath your sacrum. The block here can be at its lowest setting or maybe at its medium setting, depending on the height of your blocks and on what is feeling good for you. Then really allow your pelvis to totally melt into the block beneath you. Widen your arms to the side like a T shape, maybe a cactus shape. And just breathe here for a few rounds. Let your whole awareness, all of your awareness, your whole intention be to melt your hips and your pelvis heavier and heavier. We'll take 5 more rounds. You can stay here, or you can stretch your toes toward the corners of your mat, opening up more into the front of your hips, hip flexors unwinding. Just spread the breath to what you feel. Draw your feet underneath of you once again if they're not already. Press down, lift your hips just enough so you can release the block from beneath of you, and then lower down 1 vertebra at a time until your sacrum comes back to the earth. Take your arms wide and your feet wide, feet about as wide as the mat. Then lean your knees toward the right. Let both knees fall in that direction. You might already feel a lot of sensation here. If you'd like even more, you can catch the front of your left foot with your hand and draw your heel towards your sit bone, so you're intensifying the quad stretch. Just melt for a few breaths. Let go of any pressure, expectation for your body or for even the rest of your day. Try to just let this be kind of lazy. You're just draping onto the earth. Bring both feet flat once again. Feet still wide as your mat. Lean your knees to the left, and then find what feels good for you here. Maybe catching the right foot with your hand. Draw your heel toward your sit bone. And breathe to everything you can feel. Unwind. Come back to center. Hug both knees into your chest. Interlace your hands over the fronts of your shins and make some circles onto the low back. Massage your sacrum. And then pull into a tight squeeze. Wrap your forearms all the way around your shins, chin to your chest. Inhale. Exhale, expand down and out, open and wide into Shavasana. Really feel like you're leaning back into the back body, sending your awareness to the space where your skin touches the surface beneath you. And then allow yourself to be absorbed completely by gravity, letting go of any resistance, any holding. Just rest. Stay here and keep resting, or begin to bring little movements back into your body as you take a few deeper breaths, starting to wake back up slowly, softly. Breathe in, stretch your spine long as your arms go back, point your toes forward. Breathe out and roll to a side for fetal pose. Knees to the chest, drop your head. Melt here. Now press down and find your way up to a seat. Eyes can stay closed or soften your gaze, soften your eye sockets. Root through your sit bones. Bring your palms facing the sky, resting to the thighs. And send some breaths up and down your spine, feeling all the activation you created in the back body. And then feel the broadness you created in your chest, opening the heart. Draw your palms to meet in heart center. And we'll take one final breath here. In through the nose. Clearing exhale, sigh. Lift your heart and tuck your chin a little to your chest. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me. I hope that you enjoyed. And like I said at the beginning, this is a great one to revisit, especially if you're working on building back body strength. These are just some of the poses that have really helped me to expand my back bends in a way that feels really open and free and good. So let me know how you're feeling in the comments below. If you're not subscribed to my channel, you can do that down below too. You can join as a monthly donation member for $5. This really helps to support me. And I hope that you're doing really well and have a really great rest of your day or night. I'll see you soon in the next class. Bye.